So you've built your dream job, but your soul has stopped showing up for work. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and from Immersive Spirit, I'm flying solo this week, and welcome to this week's episode of High Heels to Happy Feels. So throughout this season, astrologically, we're going to be exploring a little bit more what it really means to have your soul in motion. When the universe is quietly rearranging your life so that you can realign with your higher purpose. If you've been feeling that internal tug, that whisper that something's shifting, this episode is completely for you. So, giving an example, I remember I was sitting at my desk in the not so distant past. And, it's probably been, a year ago, year and a half ago. And I started contemplating after 30 years or almost 30 years in IT, what am I doing? Right? I'm opening up my lap. It's just like I sit down one morning, got my coffee, I'm opening my laptop, there's the inbox overflowing. We use Slack for communication, so Slack is blowing up. And it hits me that I am just completely disconnected from the person who I had worked so hard to become and to get where I am. And I got to tell you, everything looks fantastic on paper. There are lots of people that would kill for my job. I have a great job. I work for a great company. But it's not Immersive Spirit, right? It's the day job. It's the corporate job. And yes, it pays. And yes, the benefits and all those things. But my soul it's seeking something different. And so the soul seeking retirement popped in and says, let's go, let's get away from the corporate chaos. So if that sounds familiar to you, I want you to take a breath, because you're not broken. You are not lazy. You're not ungrateful. You are just totally evolving. You are outgrowing your career. You are outgrowing everything around you, right? It doesn't mean you have failed. It means your vibration has shifted. That old energetic container, it's just not going to hold you in anymore. That's not going to do it. So astrologically, this awakening often is going to coincide with a couple of major transits. So you hear a lot about Saturn returns. When Saturn's returning, it's a lesson, right? And the universe right now is saying, let's rebuild on this truth. For me, it is almost to my full Saturn return, because it's every 7 years that it moves, and it moves into that next stage and that next cycle. And then within 28 to 30 years or so is when you have a full Saturn return. I'm almost there. And so that makes sense to me. It makes sense about the alignment. It makes sense about all these progressions. Another thing that could be called out for you, is Uranus. So if you see oppositions from Uranus anywhere on your chart, it's that energy of liberation and reinvention, right? So it's looking at, what am I in opposition of? What is Uranus telling me that is that opposite that I need to look at and re-examine? And then the 10th house transits. So 10th house is going to be a lot of your career, and that's going to be your cosmic nudges of, what is my legacy? What's my visibility? And what is my higher purpose? What's my purpose? So each of these phases is going to act like a recalibration for you. It's divine performance review from your higher self. If you need to chat more with somebody, please feel free to reach out, because if you haven't had a chance to look at your chart, number one, I'm going to tell you there are a lot of great free resources to go download your chart and to take a look at your chart, and then we'll provide the high level. The thing, and even with AI, right? You can use AI as a great little tool to go out and get your chart and get the details. What I will tell you is it's not going to get into the intricacies and the questions of, what was it 7 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago for you? Where is it headed in the next few years? Where is that next solar return? Sure, you can use a calculator and calculate that, but what's it mean for you? And what's it mean with the oppositions? And what's it mean in your sun and your moon and your rising sign and all of those pieces? That is where an astrologer is going to be very helpful, and just helping you dissect the parts, or at least help you to poke into the right questions, right? Because it can be a philosophical conversation. It's just probing, and we help guide you that direction. So always here for you to do those as well. So more coming on the astrology piece, but let's talk about some real life signs right now that can tell you that your soul is like ready for this big change. If your joy has evaporated, that's number one. I mean, if you go to work and you dread the first thing in the morning, and I know, sorry, I have an itchy nose, cooking onions. Oi. You go in, you don't feel the joy. It's routine. And there are some jobs that it's just, we have to work, we have to do those, and it's hard to find the joy, and it's, not everybody has the option to just leave and go do these things, and we understand that. But how is your soul calibrating with that? If you are just so drained that you're dreading it from the moment you're there, or there's just no joy in what you're doing and you're really moving through the motions, or what if your body totally rebels against you? So your chest, you start to get that ache, or maybe your arm hurts, or your lower back hurts, your stomach, your shoulders, you sag, you don't sit right. You're just all these things that you're doing. And there are all these places that you're holding those, oh, I should do this, I should do that. And your stomach's giving you that nudge, and your mind is giving you that nudge, and there's all sorts of little things that are happening for you. Number 3, what if your synchronicities increase? All of a sudden, the repeating numbers, the chance encounters, dreams about leaving, or your intuition starts screaming at you a little louder, right? The things that you laugh about in a commercial on TV or a particular show, and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I was just thinking about. Take it as a sign. I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, we're just using our imagination and we're making this into more than it is. But that aligned with those other pieces, if you're missing those, here's your sign in a giant way. So pay attention. It's screaming at you. The universe is screaming at you. If you start imagining what the after looks like, so you can almost see, maybe it's a little blurry, maybe you've got a rough draft, maybe you've got a vision board, but you can almost see what that next version of you looks like. Go with it. Draw that vision out a little more. Stand there a little longer. Imagine it a little deeper. How does that look for you? These are not breakdowns. They're breakthroughs. They are huge breakthroughs. And these are screams and invitations from the universe that it is time for you to realign with your authenticity. It is time to take a major step. Your birth chart, as I've already mentioned, is a very big key to this, and it's a living map of your evolution. So when those big transits hit, like we'd mentioned already with Saturn and Uranus, we talk about Mercury retrograde all the time, right? Everybody says, oh, is Mercury retrograde when communications are on the fritz? Those are all little things to look at and then combine them into the bigger wheel. Sorry, I'm bumping my mic. I get excited about this because that as you look at those and start aligning them, it makes you ask questions. So like Saturn's moving through your 10th house. Maybe you totally feel that restructuring, and that's your Saturn, think of as, and my mentor would love me for quoting her, is your principal. Right. And she's in a course it's a recent course I've taken. But it's your guidance. It's your principal. It's your educator. It is that person. It's your structure. It's your boundaries. That is Saturn. And when it's moving through your 10th house and looking at that career, it's going to push you, pressure you to start to feel that restructure. If Uranus is touching your sun or your midheaven, you're going to expect surprise opportunities or big radical changes. Don't fear those shifts. I mean, look for those and say, what is this transit helping me to see? What is it that this is helping me to re-examine? What is this that's going to help me move through? Because that's the bigger piece. That's why it's so exciting to look at those pieces. Not just, number one, you don't need the astrology to know whether or not you're happy in your job. I mean, you go. And if you're not happy, you know it. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to shift your job? Are there other opportunities within the same company? Can you change the dynamic of your job, of what you're doing? Can you ask for more tasks, less tasks, do something to change it up if you can't really go anywhere else? But if you have opportunities, embrace those. The astrology The beautiful thing about astrology is that when you actually go and look at it, it's a map. It's a compass. It's just helping you guide this all out to say, here's some timing. Here's some cosmic timing for you. Or a lot of times you'll look at it, and you can look at it hindsight 2020. Ask any astrologer you know to look back on something for you 5 years, 10 years. Think about what you were doing during those times. There it is on the chart. It's all called out for you. And, you can be skeptic all you want to, folks, but the fact is it's legit. It is very much, there's very much a science around that and seeing all that in the stars and in the placement and where everything sits. But I digress. I will just say that this is a golden opportunity to re-examine and to figure out what is my path and what is my soul's purpose. What am I doing to really live my soul? Let's do a short meditation together because I get super animated. And so I just want everybody to take a breath because more than anything, I need to take a breath. And so we're going to start. Just take a breath together. Okay. Now close your eyes if you can, even if you're at work, whatever, just right. Maybe just a quick closing of your eyes. And I want you to inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. And one more. Inhale through your nose. And a nice deep exhale through your mouth. And I want you to imagine standing at the crossroads between who you were and who you're becoming. Feel a gentle light just expanding in your chest. That's your truth center. So I want you to ask silently, what does my energy feel like when I'm truly lit up? Now stay with that feeling for a few breaths and let it imprint in your body. Let that feeling just sit there and sit until it is something that you're going to be able to recall. Are you feeling it? I hope so. Because that is your soul's yes. It's so cool. Just remember, every ending is an energetic exit interview from your higher self. And it's such a cool way to put it. Because just because you're exiting interviewing one place doesn't mean you're not interviewing for a new job elsewhere, right? And that new job is whatever you love to do. And maybe that changes in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But what does that look like today? Because, that exit, it's your reminder and your comfort zone. Just because it's stable and it's comfortable, it doesn't mean it's alignment. I know that. I'm working toward it. I have dates, folks. I got progress on mind. I'm thinking about this. I know where I want to head and when I want to get there. I know I'm not sharing those because I'm pretty sure some of my peeps probably listen to this podcast, and I'm very grateful for you. And please don't ask. But if you're in this space, between that halfway, right, of becoming what you've built and what you're becoming, give yourself some grace. You're not lost. You're in that transit, and the universe always honors a change in motion. Always. That's why it moves constantly, right? Our transits are moving all the time. So we're able to examine our chart and say, okay, well, it's not the same 2 minutes from now as it was in very small pieces as it was 2 minutes ago. Past, present, future, right? The present is a gift. And the future is glorious because it's got so many possibilities ahead of us. It's wide open. And your chart doesn't dictate and doesn't lay it out and say this is what you have to do. Your chart is a guide to get you to think, to get you to ask questions, to get you to go deeper, to examine who am I really? And oh, what can I improve upon? It will ask you to, do the shadow work. You knew it was coming. There's no way I'm letting you out of a podcast with me that you don't hear shadow work. But it's good shadow work because you look at it and say, oh, God, I didn't know I could do that. I had no idea I was so good at this, or that I am capable of so much. And how freaking powerful is that? It is the coolest feeling ever. And I'm so excited to be a part of it with you. I'm going to remind you. So we have our soul pillars. Go take that soul pillars. It's our soul map kit, right? We've got quizzes out there. Immersivespirit.com. You can go straight to immersivespiritliving.com. That's going to hook you up with just like those 4 soul pillars right from the start. Take the quiz, do those things. And then it's going to take you deeper because it's going to get you some downloading, and you're going to have to think, and you're going to have to like ponder all of these. It's so cool. And it's completely free. Free. Go do it. If you're really, really ready, and we have a brand new program that we just launched, and to all of our people that are Immersive Spirit already, thank you for being a part and for jumping in. We have Living Your Soul. And we had come out with something very similar, I guess it was the end of last year, and we took it down because it wasn't where we wanted it to be. It was called The Framework of Living Your Soul. This we actually have encompassed as part of a huge program. We have another one called Your Intuitive Operating System coming soon, and that one is trademarked. But we're very, very excited about that one with iOS. But it's a flow, right? Living your soul is all about that reconnecting, all about living authentically. It is so important. It is a big class. It is not a cheap class, but it is over a $2,000 value, and just the regular price is half of that. So, just because you are getting free live sessions with us, every week we are meeting live during this, you get 5 of these weekly calls type thing where we all meet and chat, as well as the recordings, and there's 20 something plus videos and tons of workbooks. So it is a lot, but it's amazing and it's life altering, and we're so jacked about it. It's called Living Your Soul. You can go to immersivespirit.com/living your soul. Right now we are offering it at a crazy, and I'm a little horrified to say, but it's another 60% off. So it's legitimately under $400, and it is $2,000 worth of stuff. We're basically giving it away, and we're only doing that until the end of November because we really want people to go into the holidays with a plan. We want people to go into the new year with new goals and new joy and new feeling, and be excited, and to embrace who you are. Please just embrace who you are. Be a part of who you are. Love who you are. And if this will help you get there. This will just help you feel that joy. And for less than $400 that you are going to get the biggest download of information. So immersivespirit.com. You can find it on our offerings. It's Living Your Soul. Coupons posted lots of places. So I would love to have you. If nothing else, please just come check it out. Ask questions. Ask. Because we want you to be a part of that. We want you to be a part of the bigger experience and to live authentically. And we'd love for you to be a part of Immersive Spirit, of course. So we've got our community, our amazing Town Square members who are so awesome with their time, so awesome with sharing, so awesome with communicating and giving details. And I'm bragging about them because they are pretty fabulous. But we all have something to learn, and we all learn from each other. And that's what community is about. So with that said, I will quit my rambling. Would love for you to check it out. If you haven't already, and I should have said this first and in the very beginning, so I might throw it in the video, please like and subscribe and follow us. We would be honored to have you watching our podcast, watching our topic of the weeks and our daily cards and every astrology and all the things that come with it. All of that to say, we're so excited you're here. Keep living your soul. If you need help with it, reach out to us, and we will see you again next week On High Heels to Happy Feels, I'm Stephanie with Immersive Spirit, and we'll see you again soon.